on it. And it creates a lot of problems. This simple riddle that is unsolved has generated a whole set of distortion in our societies and in the way we do physics and the way we understand the universe and how we relate to it. And we're going to see that today. We're going to see this error just come back and bite us in the butt every time we come around the corner. You all following this?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, I was going home from my school that night, and I had an hour and a half bus ride back home. And that's because I kept on getting kicked out of the schools closest to my home. So I had to go further and further, and some physicists once told me, actually, I was furthering my education that way. And I thought that was true because I had all this time to think when I was in the bus. So I was thinking and thinking, and I was going in this bus, and I'm like, I'm not living another day without solving this. I had no idea that nobody had been able to solve this or anything like that. Nobody told me it was not solvable. Nobody told me I shouldn't be working on this when I was 10. So I was in my bus going, I cannot survive another day on this planet without knowing what the heck a dimension is. And what is this dimension I'm in? And what are these other dimensions I'm experiencing, or these other energies I'm experiencing, and so on. So I'm thinking and I'm thinking and I'm thinking, and I've got a goal in my head that I'm going to solve this before I get off the bus. So the bus is getting crowdier, and it's like more and more people in there, and it's getting really kind of tight. I'm like sitting on this little bench, and I'm getting squashed, and I'm getting really uncomfortable, and I'm trying to think about all this, and I'm like, I got to find a solution. And at one point I thought, well, maybe I should like try to get my mind out of this bus because it's just getting too crowded in here. So I started to expand my mind, and I rose above the bus, and I saw, in my mind's eye, I saw the bus becoming a dot. And then I rose further, and I saw the Earth becoming a dot. And I rose further, I saw the solar system becoming a dot. And I rose further, and I saw the galaxy becoming a dot. And then I flew back into the galaxy, into the solar system, and back into the, I saw the Earth, and then I saw the bus, and I found the bus, and flew back into my body. And I thought, wow. And I looked at my hand, and I went, I flew into my hand in my mind's eye, and I saw it was made out of dots. I didn't know those were called cells, And then I flew into one of the cells in my mind's eye, and I saw that cell had to be made of thousands of little dots we call atoms. And I flew into, actually, billions of little dots we call atoms. And then I flew into one of those dots, and I saw that inside the atom there was a whole bunch of other dots in the middle, and so on. And actually, that was my first glimpse at the fractal nature of the universe. And I thought, oh my God, I know how to solve this. It's a dot within a dot within a dot to infinity. And the only thing that exists is the dot. Within each point, all information is available. Each point contains the whole. So the only true existence is the point. And from that point, or from an arrangement of points, you get all of reality. Wow. I was onto something. I got really excited. That's the way it goes. Each point contains the whole. Each point has all information. Each point is connected to all other points in the universe. And then the universe arranges the points in all sorts of different ways and makes all of the things we see. So that would mean that each point had to contain infinite amount of energy, infinite amount of information. Well, I got excited and I'm like, oh my God, I got to tell my mom. So I went back home, I got out of the bus and I'm all excited. I'm like walking on the cloud. I'm feeling like I've got this illumination, and, I'm on my way to changing the world and all this. And I get home and I wait for my mom. My mom comes back from work and I'm like, oh, Mom, I figured out something at school today. It's real important. She smiles and she's like, oh my God, he finally had an A in the test or something. She thought I did something real good at school. And I'm like, Mom, I figured out that each point contains the whole. Each part of you has infinite involved in it, and each point has a connection to everything else. And I'm telling her all that. And she looked at me and she, part of your curriculum at school, is it? And I think you should go back to it. You're not doing, and and my mom is kind of a pragmatic person, and she, she's a Roman Italian, woman, and she just looked at me and said, anyway, today I don't feel infinite. I'm not feeling infinite, so why don't you just go back to your curriculum, Go do your homework or something. And it kind of, I got disappointed. It crushed me. I was like, oh my God, she's right. How can a point contain the whole if a point has a finite boundary? If the body has a finite boundary, how can it have infinity in it? So I was like, oh, I gotta go back to the drawing board on this one. I was like, that doesn't really work. How do I do this? Well, it turns out that that's gotta be one of the largest errors that is going on in our understanding of physics and our understanding of the way the universe functions and our place in it. That is, that infinity and finite system are opposites instead of complementary. But how can a finite system and an infinite curvature be complementary? How can the two be together? I knew when I was 10 that there was a solution to this, because I knew I was right, because I had seen it in my mind's eye. I instinctively knew it. Actually, most children I talk to, if they haven't gone through that first lesson of geometry, know this. They think of the universe as infinitely big and infinitely small, all embedded into each other to infinity. In general, they think of that as being quite logical. The kids are not the only people that thought of this. Do we have sound on the computer? One famous physicist, Carl Sagan, wrote a book called Contact. And then there was a movie that was made out of that book. And the movie starts like this. Thank you. Okay, this is a little bit hard to see. It's the edge of the Earth. There we go. And so we're moving away from the Earth in space. And as we move out, we catch up with all the radio waves that were sent into space by the Earth. So it's like almost going back in time. goes Saturn. Now we're exiting our solar system. And shortly we'll be exiting the arm of the galaxy we're in. Here's our galaxy center. And now we're moving faster and faster away from our galactic supercluster. So the concept of a universe within a point, was there quite definitely described. Let me tell you as well that the concept of a universe coming out of a dot is not that outrageous. The current theory of the Big Bang says that we all came out of a dot the size of a Planck's length, 10 to the minus 33 billions of times smaller than an atom, and all of our universe. The only difference here is that this view says, no, it didn't all emerge from one dot that decided to make a universe. All dots contain the possibility of a universe in it. All dots are connected to all other dots. And so here, then Hollywood came up with their version of this concept. And since they're the man in black, they have much faster technology. They can move much faster than anybody else. So that's the end of Men in Black movie. They have extreme speed because they got all that alien technology. Little marbles we are. So these concepts have been around, except they've never really been understood because, again, how do you fit infinity in a finite space? And it's crucial that we understand how we did it. Well, when I grew up, eventually, I found the solution. I found the answer to this. The solution is what is called a fractal